MATH5130. The purpose of this video is to carry out a t-test in StatCrunch and in R, and to demonstrate how to write up the results. So staying consistent with the 5-step process that was taught in the previous video, if we wanted to test that the mean charge for delivery in this region is 20,000, we would set up the null and alternative hypotheses. We would state the level of significance. We would use technology to calculate the test statistic and the p-value. We would make a statement, a decision, talk about that more later. Then we would calculate and report the 95% confidence interval. Then we would get into the summary or the write-up of the results. So that's the purpose of the video, is to show how to use StatCrunch and how to use R in making these calculations. All right, so first thing I'd want to do to run this, I would go to a one sample t-stats with data. And I need All right, MATH5130. The purpose of this video is to demonstrate the steps for hypothesis testing for a population mean in the context of a desire to test that the mean charge for delivery in this area is $20,000. So we'll use this data set over here. I will demonstrate how in StatCrunch to carry out a t-test. We'll use the 5-step procedure that I presented to you in the previous video, and then I'll show you how to write up or summarize the results. All right, so a lot going on here, and I'll also show you and demonstrate in R how to run the same results. All right, one thing I noticed, I need to come in and I need to okay, so we always again need to tell share with the reader how we analyzed our data, and I just noticed that that part was actually missing. All right, so let's do it. So we kind of behind the scenes, we set up the null and alternative hypotheses that we're going to test. So when we get into StatCrunch, we'll go to Stat, we'll go to t-test, one sample with data. So I want to test charges, and I want to test that the mean is equal to 20,000. Please enter this without commas, and I always want to test not equal to. Now again, I say always when you're at the time where you're going to publish and analyze your data for your capstone project. For my stat lab assignments where we're reviewing material and actually learning a little bit, we may set that at greater than or less than, depending on the nature of the problem. All right, so really we don't need to set anything else, and so again, alpha 0.05 is set. We can see right there that our test statistic is negative 1.9, and we can see that our p-value is 0.0587. Now it barely squeaks in above the 0.05 threshold, but still the p-value is greater than alpha, so we do not have statistical significance. So we fail to reject the null, so we can't reject this statement. We're not buying that it's $20,000. We're just saying that the results of our sample data cannot reject the claim of $20,000. All right, so we have to make softer statements because, again, we're dealing with probability. Confidence interval, really easy to find, as we've seen before. Just go to Edit, come down, just click Confidence Interval, make sure 0.95, that's the default. So it should be there. So the lower limit is 10,790. I've reported that in the upper limit right there. Now, when it comes time to present the results, it shouldn't be any surprise that we provide a narrative First of all, about the purpose of this analysis, which is to test the claim that the mean charge for a hospital stay for the delivery of a baby in whatever region this is differed significantly from $20,000. That's what we're testing. Then I would say that the results reveal a difference that is not statistically significant. Then I provide to the reader the results. I put a T there because we're doing a t-test. The 399 is the degrees of freedom. If you go back to, let's go to the, what do I need here? Yeah, okay. So I have the degrees of freedom as 399, and I can see that the p-value, since it's greater than 0.05, is reported as 0.059. So with a 95% confidence interval, I have no idea why that is highlighted. It shouldn't be. And then, of course, I tell the reader that the data was analyzed using StackCrunch. Then I get into the descriptive statistics. I actually have this backwards. I would probably include this before. I would probably describe the data and then go into. So I'll tell you what. Let's do that. That I don't know why I didn't do that before. Yeah, this would be better. So describe your sample data first, and then transition into your inference result. All right. So again, we have age, just as we did previously. Report the mean, the median, the range, Q1, Q3, the 95% confidence interval, and one additional thing I would always report is the standard error. And the standard error can be found from your output. All right. Then I think it's really important here, because if you notice the statement right here, we talk about the outliers. When I examined the box plot, there were numerous outliers. I'm certainly not going to type all those out. And so I feel like because of the severe skewness of this distribution, that I need to provide that information to the reader. All right, now in terms of using R, I have already entered the data from my desktop. I attached it. Important. I don't know. I can't tell you how many emails I get from a frantic student at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning who can't get R to work, and it's because they forgot or didn't include the attached data command. I always like to look at the first 6 cases. That way I get the the variable names. So the variable that we're most interested in here is in charge. So to run a t-test, I would just type mu equal 20,000, because that's what I'm testing. And then I would include the variable, which in this case is charge. And you can see that we get the same test statistics, same degrees of freedom. And you can see that we get the same 95% confidence interval. Now, to get the other things here, I've already demonstrated all this, how to get the range and so on. I'm not really sure how to get the standard error, to be honest with you. That's something I'll have to get back with you on. I don't think this is going to work. Yeah, it doesn't. I don't know. I'll have to get back with you on that one. But there's got to be an easy way to do that. All right, gang, it's all I got. This should have been a pretty clear video. All right, take care.